What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Read a Comic Book! Out of the Basement's comic book review show. I'm Nate, and I'm joined with Justin.
What's up, guys? First episode that I'll be on for the comic book show here.
This show, it's just like most of our other shows, except for we review comic books. And today on the show, we are going to be reviewing the latest Darth Vader comic book series from Marvel, written by Charles Soule. And the first two issues came out a little bit ago, but today was the release of the third issue. So we decided that this comic book is so awesome, not to get ahead of ourselves, but
we really like it.
We wanted to have a PSA of like, you should read this. If you're a Star Wars fan, why aren't you reading this?
Yeah. So just like a basic synopsis of the first three issues. The first issue, I mean, this whole story arc takes place right after episode 3. Actually, kind of in that last part of episode 3, like literally when he wakes up in the suit and the Emperor lets him know that he killed Padme in his anger and he goes, no! It's like right after that no.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, isn't the no panel in the first issue? I feel like it is.
I feel like it is too. It might be.
I don't know. It's been a minute.
Yeah. But just to start off, it's awesome that it takes place right after episode 3.
And a great thing about this series so far is that we're seeing a very vulnerable Darth Vader. Something that we've never really seen before because he was very powerful when he was Anakin. And then by the time we see him in now Rogue One...
Yeah, or even Rebels 15 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, he's already a beast. Yeah. So we've never got to see this kind of... He's getting used to his suit. He doesn't really know how to control himself at this point.
Yeah.
And we also get a nice look into some Sith mythology.
Yeah.
With the sort of how a Sith constructs their red lightsaber and what they have to do to a kyber crystal.
And why it's red.
Yes, and why it's red.
Crimson.
I don't think we should give away anything like that. Because that was really interesting and unique to read.
We'll go very mild spoilers. Just like basic stuff. So the first issue, like we said, takes place right after the no.
Yep.
And that's where he learns like why a Sith lightsaber is red and a whole bunch of other, little Sith mythology stuff. And then it cuts to, I like the politics too, because they're like, the Jedi are defeated, and he's like, waving the lightsaber like one of these politician guys.
Yeah, and they're like, they have these big like vats of some sort of like flammable material, and they're putting all of the Jedi's lightsabers.
You see clone troopers just like throwing buckets of lightsabers into the flame.
Just burning all of these lightsabers up, and with that, it sort of leads us on Vader's quest to construct his own lightsaber.
Yeah, what a clever story idea, the origin of his lightsaber.
Yeah. I really like that, though, because I feel like it would kind of be cheap if Vader just picked a lightsaber out of the vat of lightsabers that were going to be melted and was just like,
it's mine now.
I'll take this one.
Could have took Yoda's.
Yeah.
Or I guess Yoda probably still has his, since he escaped.
True. But maybe he lost it at some point, because then he doesn't have it in Empire.
But I just love how the crowd is behind the Empire.
Yeah.
Because, like, in original trilogy era, people are like, Jedi, ancient religion, they're never coming back.
Right.
And, like, a lot of people actually disliked Jedi because, they were just persuaded by the Empire that they're this evil group trying to overthrow them.
Yep.
But then we get into the second issue, which Palpatine pretty much drops him off and says, go find your Jedi to kill. Because you have to kill a Jedi. And so he goes to this, like, Jedi outpost in the Outer Rim, and there's a whole bunch of clones. And they're, like, the clones there are tasked with, like, taking inventory of all the, like, Jedi stuff. And that was really neat because it reminded me of the Clone Wars. Like, they gave a few of the clones names and personalities.
Yep.
And, like, one of them was waving around a lightsaber. They're like, I'm a Jedi.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to see.
Yeah, I liked the little touch of, like, the personality that we see, like, in Clone Wars with the clone troopers that we don't really get to see in any of the movies. Where, like, it's like a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And they're all like really tight-knit. And you get a little bit of that in issue 2. And then really so far the only dislike of the series,
yeah, spoilers,
which is it's just a very minor spoiler.
It's in issue 2.
Seemingly to Justin and I, Vader kills the clone troopers for no reason.
Yeah, because my reason behind it's not really a dislike, it's more of like a question. Like if someone has read it and understands why, go ahead and let us know. But in issue 2, he infiltrates the Jedi base and he just massacres all these clones and then goes into the database to find a location of a Jedi very far away. But why was it necessary for Vader to like massacre the clones when A, they're on the same side, B, it's still Anakin, and as we've seen in the Clone Wars, he loves his clones. He like, just like Mace Windu in the Clone Wars, like he actually cared about them. So it's like, it was, I don't want to say out of character, because at the same time, like, maybe they didn't want the clones to know who Vader was.
Right.
Or something.
Well, yeah, they definitely want to keep his other identity a secret. That's why they talk about Anakin being dead.
But they could have just sent out a PSA to everyone, a picture of Darth Vader, and said, this guy is like a high-ranking Imperial, like...
But, maybe they were like, who's this? We've never seen him before. Why, how did he just show up? I don't know. We're thinking too far into it. But, although it is a great scene because you get to see Vader use a certain color lightsaber that he is not normally...
Never been seen with before.
Yeah, so...
probably has somewhere.
And it's just great action. Like, that's another really big positive of these 3 issues so far is... It has a nice balance between giving you some storyline and some dialogue and then giving you tons of kick-ass action.
Yep.
Which I really enjoy.
Yep. And then the 3rd issue is he goes on the planet that this Jedi is on, and you actually learn more Jedi mythology, which I already forgot the name of, like, the journey.
Yeah. It's like Barish or something.
Yeah. Where a Jedi leaves the Order and goes somewhere far away.
Basically,
and lives within the Force.
Every Jedi has died except for a select few, as we all know. But this Jedi has taken an oath to remove himself from like the Order, so he's still a Jedi, but he doesn't get involved with their politics. And he even talks about like when the Jedi were all being massacred, he could feel their pain, but because he was in this isolation, like
he couldn't do anything.
He couldn't do anything about it. So it's a unique perspective to see, especially because this is kind of a minor spoiler, but it's not really too bad. He deduces that Vader is somehow involved in the massacre of all of the Jedi, and then his path to himself becomes clear, and it just
flows pretty well.
Yeah, what is seemingly going to be a pretty epic battle at some point, because even though the cover is them about to brawl with each other, that actually doesn't happen in the issue at all.
It's a small fight.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I'm glad that they're taking their time with this, because you get a lot of times with single issue comic books, they feel like they have to have like those big moments in every single issue. And I like that this Vader comic, it has a nice pace, but it's not like, OMG, Vader already has his lightsaber. Like, 4 issues later.
And that's why we like this series so far, because really the only media we've kind of seen, Rogue One takes place literally right before the first movie, and then even Rebels only takes place 4 years, I believe, before the original trilogy. So it's nice to see something on the other side that's literally right after Revenge of the Sith. And it's like kind of filling that gap of how everything worked.
Agreed. And again, seeing Vader in such a vulnerable state, because he is not ready to face this Jedi.
Yeah, he's not used to his suit.
And you see that because this Jedi kicks his ass. And that's another thing that that's just so weird to see, like Vader getting his ass kicked.
Yep. And it's totally believable too, because he's still, one of the most powerful Force users in the galaxy, but it's just, he literally just lost the fight to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Literally just got his arms and legs sliced off. He's not used to the suit.
Yep.
He's always in pain, so he's still getting used to it, so it's awesome to see that. And I really like the art style, too.
Yeah. Great visuals, honestly. Really enjoy that. The issue 3 ends on a cliffhanger, sort of literally. I didn't even think about that. But very excited about the next issue. I honestly wish we didn't have to wait. The next issue comes out on the 2nd of August.
It's tri-weekly.
Tri-weekly. Every 3 weeks we get a new Vader issue. So if you guys have been reading this series, let us know what you think in the comments down below. We highly recommend you guys check out this series.
I highly recommend, if you're a Star Wars fan, you need to get into something. If you're a big fan, you need to get into something other than the movies.
Right.
And I think that besides the animated series, that's a given. I think, this brand new comic, it's probably your favorite villain from the whole franchise if you've only seen the movies and you want to get into something that's still canon, still in the continuity of the saga. I would definitely pick it up. The comic book store we went to, they still have tons of copies of all 3 issues. So.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we're kind of worried that not a lot of people are reading this. I mean, I'm sure there's a decent crowd because anything Star Wars sells.
Definitely.
But judging by how, like, normally at our comic book store, you can tell what is selling because there'll only be, like, 1 or 2 issues left behind. But this, it's like they have a ton. I don't know if they're just ordering a lot because they know it's big.
I'm hoping that's what it is.
I'm hoping, too.
Because, you got to support the comics so we don't just get 30 issues in and then they cancel it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Marvel, who notoriously right now is just starting and stopping series with a blink of an eye.
Yep.
But anyways, guys, let us know what you thought or what you think of these Darth Vader comic books. We'd love to talk to you in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let us know you enjoy our comic book reviews because we certainly read plenty of comic books, and I would love to do more and more reviews for them.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We do comic book reviews, movie reviews. We do action figure stuff. All the goody, nerdy bullshit that you love. Hear it out of the basement. So until next time, guys, may the Force be with you. Brief overview of the latest Fuck Me series.
How the fuck do we not notice that? Not notice that.